Welcome to Elliott's PT podcast. I'm here to help you find your balance and live your best life guilt-free. I don't believe there is a one-size-fits-all approach for health and fitness. We're all different and we need to find out what works for us. I'm passionate about helping people make realistic, long-term lifestyle changes that they will stick to and they will take with them forever. I don't believe in crazy diets or short-term fixes. We all need to live and find a perfect balance in diet and exercise that suits our individual needs. I want to help you find your exercise mojo, feel great and achieve wonderful things. Here is Elliott's PT podcast by Renee Elliott.
All right, hello. All right, I wanted to come on and talk about protein. And lots of people this week have been coming to me and asking questions about protein. And I wanted to give some tips on how we can get that extra protein in your diet and how you can make sure that you are getting enough protein. Now, number one is tracking is really important. So unless you have been tracking for a very long time, I still like to go back to tracking, and I have done it for years. I still like to go back to tracking and just have a quick little look and reminder of how much things, protein are in things. So please don't be overly confident and think that you know everything. When you're putting it in something like MyFitnessPal or whatever else, when you're tracking your food and all of the things, that is when you can really see where it's at. And I have so many people that come to me and they think they know how much they're eating of certain things. And they think they know and they don't. And it's when they get shocked when they start to see that how much they were missing or lacking in certain things. So please be reminded of how important tracking is. So I've got little Charlie sitting here with me, so she's going to show up some of the protein things that we have here, but not yet, so you can put that away.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so first thing is understand why I'm always going on about why protein is so important. So protein is responsible for the growth and repair of your body's tissues. It plays an essential role in the production of hormones, enzymes, and red blood cells. When your protein is made up of chemical building blocks called amino acids, and your body uses these amino acids to build and repair your muscles. They use it for bone health, to make hormones, and it also uses as an energy source. So eating protein is going to help your muscles repair. It is going to help keep you full and stop you from snacking. It is going to help you with your recovery, especially after workout. It's going to help your muscle grow. And most people, we're all looking the more muscle you have, the better. I've spoke about this lots of times before, but we want to make sure that we have muscle. Most people are under eating in protein, and a lot of people are especially women, don't have enough muscle on them, and muscle is so important. That hurts. Please get off my leg like that. Okay, so how can you, here are some of my kind of tips in order to get extra protein into your diet. Okay, so the number one thing is I would be tracking your food so then you know where you're at. Number two is you need to have a plan, and you need to pre-plan your food. So pre-plan your food out so you can see where your protein's at and how you can make sure that you're getting enough of that. Now you're going to be looking for the gram amount. So if you're doing a program like Macro Balance or any of those things, then I am going to have given you the amount that you're wanting to reach. So you want to have that, and I would make that my first priority. So before we look at anything else, just look at where is your protein amount, A lot of people that aren't conscious of it, they get to the end of the day and their first meal with maybe protein in it might be dinner. And that's why you might notice that you are hungry. You might feel that you are somebody that's eating lots of sugary things, or you feel like you're craving sugars and all that time, and it's because you are not getting enough protein in your diet. So have a plan, and when you plan it out, you can then see what you need to do to get that protein amount. And most people, when you first start looking at this, you kind of be like, oh my God, how do I get that much protein in? But when you think about it smartly, you follow some of my tips, it's not as hard as what we think it is. So you might need to rethink your shop or review your shop and to choose some product. Now, number one thing to think about is you want to get protein from more natural sources. So when things take the day off, when there's there is obviously lots and lots of products out there now that have protein this and protein that. But if you might find that when it's lots of processed stuff, you know, listen to your body and see how it feels. But I know with me, if I'm having lots of things that are processed, it plays with my stomach and it doesn't like it. So, you know, so the first thing is when you are planning things out, you could look at, you know, so as an example, 1 egg has 6 grams of protein in it. So you could look at obviously having a couple of eggs or 3 eggs. That's you then at 18 grams of protein. You can then add some more protein by maybe adding in egg whites, okay? And you make it into an omelette or something like that. So that's one thing you can do. You could look at, so if you were having in your meal, let's say you were having 100 grams of chicken. So 100 grams of chicken is approximately 30 chicken breasts would be 30 grams of protein. But if you could, instead of having 100 grams, you could look at having 150 grams, and then you've given yourself an extra, an extra 15 grams of protein in that one kind of meal. So you can look at adding the protein in that way from those types of things. Some other things that we can do is I start my day off with a coffee, and Charlie's going to show this up. So other way. So I add in collagen to my coffee. Okay, so this is the brand that I use. I get this from my naturopath. Okay, so it's the Metagenics brand, and I add this into my coffee. Now, so I don't have milk or anything. I just use the collagen powder kind of as that, and it's got about 17 grams of protein. So I'm starting my day off with a coffee, and I'm adding some of this. All right. So that is something you can do. There is lots of other brands around. The other ones, we're going to show this one up. So some people that struggle to find a protein powder that they like, okay, so this one is called Tasteless Protein, and this is I think it's about 14 or 15 grams per serve. You can add this to water. Hold it up. You can add this to your water, you can add it to your coffees, and you really cannot taste it. So that is another way of getting in some more protein. Collagen has lots of other benefits for your hair, your nails, and your skin. So it's good to add that into your diet anyway. But this is a great way to add that in. This, if you see the little tag here, comes from a website called Cost Price Supplements, and you can just go on and order that from there. But that is what I would really recommend for people to, people that feel like they're struggling. You can just add it in to, and it's not that expensive. Okay, so put that one down. Okay, so that's.
I'm going to put up next.
Okay, we'll show you. So that's one way. That's one way you can start your day off. Now remember, the first meal, the first time that you eat in the day, everything is about finding something that works for you. So there's no right or wrong. You don't have to eat breakfast. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do anything. If we are looking to get certain foods, we want to get these. We want to have a variety of foods. We want to, eat from the colors of, the the rainbow because you know that you're getting different nutrients from different colors of foods. You want to have that, but you can choose which way you want to eat, okay? Because I want you to find something that you can stick to for life. So I don't want to put rules in, and don't make macro counting into a diet, because it's not. It is a tool to use to really understand your food. And that's why I love this so much, because once you start tracking your food, you can be like, now I know where I'm really lacking, or you can then start to make a really, really informed choice on your food because you understand your food. But you have to go through the process of tracking your food first to be able to understand that. So my first tip was obviously tracking your food. My second tip was making sure you have a plan. So then I'm going to start off with adding collagen to my coffee or my hot drinks in the morning, or that can be added to water. I know not everybody drinks coffee, but that's one thing you can do. So again, when we are preparing your food, you can make sure that you're doing things like you could have things prepared, like you could cook extra chicken breast, so to speak, or you could cook extra if you're, and have, say, because prawns are a really good thing of protein. You could have some prawns, and you could have them kind of available that you can grab if you feel hungry. So when you already have some food like ready, or tofu or something, because I know not everybody likes meat. Tofu is a great, Charlie please, is a great source of protein. But if you have it, if you have that stuff there, then you're more likely to go for it than, because I know for me, if I'm not organized, I'm going to go for toast. I'm just going to go for toast because it's quick and it's easy. But if I had steamed chicken breast in a container in the fridge, I could quickly grab that and know that I could grab that and run out the door. And that would, that would suffice me. So the other thing is, if we are talking about protein powder, I find the best way to get your protein up is by having a protein powder of some sort. It is just, I find it easy. Now, I don't believe that the protein powder should be a meal replacement. The protein powder is like a snack or any of those things. Number one is always eating proper food. So really choosing a protein powder, it is finding one that you like and that works for you. Everyone once did it. Remember, when we are choosing a protein powder, the less ingredients, the better. So if you look at the back, and it's really important to look at the front. So here's a protein powder that I use. Look at the front of your packet, but also remember the front is a lot of marketing. So they're going to use this as a marketing tool. They're going to try to sell the product to you. So be wary of don't just go by the front. Look at the back and make an informed choice. So look at how much protein you're getting per serve. Look at the ingredients. So here, there is only one ingredient. All right. So there's only one ingredient. Yep. There is only one ingredient. So, that's the less ingredients, the better. If it's got hundreds of different this and that added, then there's a lot of crap in there, and generally it's not going to be the best for you. This is by Protein Supplies, and this has about 24 servings of protein per this. I could just put this into smoothies or anything else. This is plain, it's no flavor. All right, so like you can add that, and this is from this one's made from egg whites. There is other brands that I like, such as the Raw brand. I don't have any of that at the moment to show, but there's the Raw brand, and there is also Bondi protein, and you can get most of them from Chemist Warehouse. Those again, look at the back of the packet and make an informed choice on what's going to support your goals. But they are the brands that I would recommend, and this one is Protein Supplies. So they are the ones that I find, and again, I've tried many, and I find that they work well they don't bloat me, they don't play with my tummy or anything else. So I would use a protein shake as a snack. as you know, like an afternoon snack, especially when it comes to that like 3 o'clock time where you feel like you might feel like you're looking for that little picker. There's also like the Bondi protein, there's a chocolate flavor, so even if you've got a bit of a sweet tooth, that might be something that can take that sweet tooth, give you that kind of fix if you like. The other time that I eat, like that I would have a protein shake, is if I don't have enough time to eat food. If I'm in a rush, any of those things, that is when I would eat it. Like I said, like a food is number one choice. And a shake, I don't believe in using shakes as meal replacements, because the problem is when you start to eat food properly again, your body is not used to it and you'll just put the weight that you've lost back on. So, but I use a protein shake when I don't have enough time to eat, if I'm on the go. My day for this morning, as an example, had a really busy morning, and I had to go pick my Cooper up from school early. So to pick him up from school early, I had like a half an hour window to get food, and I hadn't actually eaten myself. So I was in the shops and I just bought a protein shake already made up in the shops, because I knew that I could have that would fill me up, and that would stop me from then binge kind of eating later on when I got home, or and I didn't want to go like, I didn't want to go all like way past lunchtime without eating. So that's where I think a protein shake is a really good thing to have with you. I also recommend to have a protein shake with you if you, like somebody, they're going away this week, and I said to them, I would take a protein shake with you. So then you can take it, if you know that you're going to be busy and you're not going to be able to eat, because lots of times when we are snacking on food, or when we tend to overeat. I know for me, if I don't eat, then when I say I haven't eaten all day or something like that, well, that never happens, but let's say if I haven't eaten in a while, or I haven't eaten properly, I will binge on whatever I can kind of see as I'm making dinner, and I'll do all those things, and that's where you get really, you blow out in your calories, and lots of people don't count that stuff, and that's why it's so important to track and have a plan and have everything you're kind of eating written down. That's protein powder. There is also another protein powder which can be great, especially when you're working out. So this is casein protein, sorry. So here, this is it's a slow releasing protein. So it is going to release at a slower rate. So that's why sometimes this can be good to take before you go to sleep, because it's going to release at a slower rate over a longer period of time, and it will really help with your muscles and repairing. So this is again the brand that I have, and this is from Protein Supplies, and it's a chocolate flavor, and again there is only about 4 ingredients. Okay. So if we're looking at the back, there is only about 4 ingredients. So this is something that you could take at night. You can take it at any time, but it is slower releasing. So it is going to keep you full for that bit longer. And also so much magic happens when you're sleeping, and helping your body and muscles repair and build. This is something that you could use for that. Okay, so other ways that you can get protein into your diet. So you could add in, looking to adding in Greek yogurt. So Greek yogurt is roughly about 18 or so grams per serve, depending on the brand that you're using. You can then on top of your yogurt, you could add in things like some nuts. So a handful of nuts will give you about an extra 4 grams of protein. But again, be mindful of depending on what else you've eaten in the day, and this is why it's so good to have it planned out to look at your fats, because again, nuts are great, but we need to be mindful of how much nuts we're eating. So that's one way. You can add lots of beans, so any type of beans, so your kidney beans, your lentils, your chickpeas, your black beans, your white beans, all of those beans are going to be high in protein. And again, they can be great. They average about, they're full of fiber, and it's about 15 grams per cup. But again, we need to be mindful of the carbohydrate amount. Again, there's nothing wrong with carbohydrates. We need carbohydrates. We need a balance of everything in our diet, but we need to be mindful of, depending on what else you've eaten in the rest of the day, how that balances out when adding in those beans. So again, that's why it's so important to track it and to be able to look at it. And when you track, it's the biggest learning lesson for you. It's really the biggest learning lesson about food. You can look at swapping quinoa into your meal. So instead of, say, rice or pasta or any of those things, you can look at adding in quinoa. So quinoa is considered a complete protein because it contains all the essential amino acids, and it has about 8 grams of protein per cup. And you can add it into soups, salads, muffin, pancakes. They even have quinoa flakes that you can make into oats or any of those things. So look at making some of these swaps, and then you're getting more protein in your diet. Eggs, you can use egg as a snack. So again, but be mindful. Some people think they're eating high protein, but one egg is only 6 grams. So but it still can be a great snack. You can look at peanut butter again, but be mindful of the fat content. But like peanut butter in celery or any of those things. So 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is about 8 grams of protein. And again, that's fine, but be mindful, because that will be quite high in fat. And again, fats are not bad for us. We need a balance of everything. But if you've had like peanut butter, avocado, you've had oil, coconut oil, other things, the fat will quite add up into your day. So, if you mix in, seeds into your diet, so seeds such as hemp seeds, chia seeds, flaxseed, all of those things. So about 2 tablespoons is about 3.5 to 6 grams of protein. So you can add them into your salads, and again, the more variety of stuff you're having, you're going to be getting nutrients and all that from all different things. And it's all about getting this nice balance. Things such as, peas have got about 8 grams of protein in them for 1 cup. Edamame beans or soybeans, half a cup is about 9 grams of protein. They also have for half a cup, it's about 300 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, which is good for your brain and heart health. You can add in, your hummus. Hummus is from your chickpeas. So again, that can be a great snack with carrots or any of those stuff, and you're still getting protein in that. You can add red lentils into anything you're cooking. That's going to boost up your protein amount. And, like I said, protein, the main source that people get their protein from is from meat. But, some people start to eat more protein and they're like, I don't like eating meat. You don't have to eat meat. There is so many non-meat ways that you can boost your protein up. And I have trained many people that are vegans or vegetarians, and they can get their protein very high. So don't feel that you have to do it only with meat. You can also think of things like, like cheeses, but again, be mindful of, you just want to look at amounts and all of that. And that's why it's so important to track, because we want to be mindful of the fats, and there is no right or wrong. It just depends on balancing out your day. And you will notice when you first start to eat more protein that, you might notice that you will feel a lot fuller, and maybe you'll be like, I cannot eat any more food, but your body will get used to eating more. what the body does is when we are not eating enough food, it starts to shut things off and it slows it down to protect itself. So when you start eating properly and getting that right balance of food, your body will start responding, and it will you will notice that your energy levels increase. You sleep better, you'll start to feel hungry, which is not a bad thing, and you'll perform so much better in the gym, and you'll be able to do so much more. But just be mindful, it takes time, and I've had so many people saying, Renee, I can't eat any more food, but your body is your best teacher. It is the best teacher, so listen to it. Don't force food down. Just be like, okay, this is where I'm at today, and then one day you'll be like, oh my God, I'm actually hungry. I'm actually looking for food. It's interesting. It's so lovely to see. If you are a sweet tooth like me, there is lots of things out there that you can get that are, so we want to think about having, if you have a protein rich dessert. So there is so many things that you can get now. Now this is like a protein mousse. So this has 34 grams of protein in it. Yes, it's processed, so it's processed, but you can have this, and you can add strawberries and that type of thing, and it can be quite nice. I can't say that I love this. I bought it thinking it would be good, but I didn't quite like the texture. But everyone's different. Other people had told me how much they loved it. But there's things like that. I'm sure that is just from Chemist Warehouse. There is these like Fiber One bars. My little assistant's left me. I knew she wouldn't hang around too long. So there's these Fiber One bars, and they've got about 10 grams of protein per serve. Again, they are giving you, yes, they're processed, but they're only about 90 calories per serve, and this could be a better option than some other things that you were maybe choosing to eat. It's got 10 grams of protein in it. It is low on sugar, but I've had these other Fiber One bars. I've had them. It's weird for me when so here's some other ones. These are only about 90 calories. When I have this stuff, I know it's there. I know it's there if I really need, but I tend to not go for it. But if I don't have it, then I'm like, what sweet thing can I get? I also really like these. I like these on the go. These are the Sam's brand. They are about 10 grams of protein in them. You get these from Woolworths, and they are not in the protein section. So obviously be mindful. If you get things from the health food section, sometimes it tends to be more expensive. These Sam's Pantry, they're gluten-free as well, but they are in the muesli bar section, and I like them. The one that I have here is a caramel brownie, and it is low on sugar too, per serve. So for me, I could have that, and that would satisfy that sweet kind of craving that I like chocolate, and I like sweet things. So you can still make that. You can still get your protein in that way. Now, also there is so many different protein ice creams and all of those things as well. So if you have a sweet tooth, if you like to have a dessert, why not have one that's got protein in it for you too, because it's going to get the protein up, because most people are under eating in it, and it's just a way that you can get that sweet fix, but you're still so there are so many different brands. There's Halo Top, there is Fro Pro, there's the Halo Top, there is Tilly's, there is so many. There's Yo Pro now have a version. There are so many different types. Just look in the freezer section in your supermarket. The other thing is looking at, there's yogurts, so that are, like there's Yo Pro yogurts. They also have a bar as well. So there's YoPro yogurts, there is, and they've got about 15 grams. And someone was just telling me today, and I've recommended this before, like the YoPro yogurts is, you can have that in the car while you're driving, type of thing. They're kind of like sippy, so it's having a plan and having these things available. So there's these things that you can buy. Yes, obviously, ultimately, the best way is to make all the food yourself and everything else, but life is busy, so we want to sometimes have some things that work for us and are there that we can grab on the go. So I also look for things when they say on special, and I'll buy them. So if you find if there's a few things of protein drinks that you can get from the supermarket and they might be on sale or any of those things, I'll grab a few of them, because then I know that I've got them in the fridge, and if I'm in a rush, I can just grab it out. I make sure with the protein powder I have that I can just mix it with water, because when I have to put it in the blender and put in raspberries or something else to it, it just takes that little bit of extra time, and if I'm in a rush, I'm more inclined not to do it. So work out your personality and what's going to work best for your personality to get that protein amount up. Other things that are a good source of protein that I forgot to mention before is those little tins of tuna. So those little tins there are about 15 grams. So lots of times for me, if let's say we're out somewhere and the kids might want McDonald's as a treat, I'll get them the McDonald's, but I might get a salad and I might add in a couple of tins of tuna, and I'm getting a high protein meal. I'm not blowing out in the calories. So, and it makes my tummy feel better. I don't enjoy feeling bloated or any of those other things. So that is some ways that you can get your protein, really get your protein up. But the first thing that I would also be doing is look at your plate, and I want you to think the biggest portion of your plate, I want it to be your protein. So look at that and think, what is my protein source in this meal? What is my protein source, and how can I make sure that every meal has protein in it? The other thing that for people that maybe like having oats in the morning, you can get oats and you can add protein powder to the oats. So again, we're all looking, we don't have to be perfect. We want to find something that is going to work for your lifestyle. And if it means, having powdered sachet oats, I know there's different brands are better. The Sam's brand's quite a good one of the oats, but having the oats and adding protein powder to it, and really, if you are struggling to increase your protein, or you are just starting to increase your protein, I want you to really think about how it makes you feel, and how, I start my day off with a protein rich breakfast. So I actually have a meat breakfast, and I really like it. I enjoy how it makes me feel, and I feel fuller for longer, and I don't like being bloated, and it definitely does not bloat me. So think about how that makes you feel, and how your energy goes through the day when you've had that higher protein meal, because it makes a big difference. So hopefully some of those tips have helped you. If you have a tip yourself, share it so we can help everybody with that. But spend the time to sit down and really work it out. How can I get to this amount? Because you don't want to get to the end of the day and be like, most time I ask people, they have no idea, but when I say to them, so what have you eaten? What do you eat in a general day? And they'll tell me, and lots and lots of times, the first time that people have protein is their dinner, so it's like, and that's why you'll notice that, again, there is nothing wrong with carbohydrates, but they're going to be change straight into glucose because that's our immediate source of energy, but it's going to give us that quick fix, and then you're going to be hungrier. So you're going to be hungrier, you're going to have that shoot of glucose, then we're going to be looking for something else. So that's why you just want to be mindful of and think every meal you're having, where is my protein, and how am I going to really be getting more protein into my diet? Because people that want to you want to build muscle, or people always come to say to me and they want to be toned, and now in order to be toned, you need to increase your muscle. You obviously need to be working with weights as well, but whatever toned means to you, because we may all have a different definition of it, but to get that, you are not going to get that by not eating protein. So you need to really think about getting your protein higher in order to achieve that. All right. So let me know how you go, and let me know how you're going with your protein. Do you feel like you are struggling with it, or do you feel like maybe you've got a new tip and you can incorporate that into your day? All right. Make sure you let me know, because I'd love to know. My Summer Shape Up program begins on the 15th of August. This program is an 8-week guided weightlifting program where you are going to be guided by me, and you are going to be shown how to lift weights properly, how to really increase your strength and increase your 1 rep max. There is different tasks each week for you to do. You are going to be shown the best way that you can strength train, and how you can benefit your whole body and create that nice lean tone look that we are all looking for, so you can feel confident in the summertime in your bathers out on the beach. So if you want to be the first to know when the Summer Shape Up program begins, make sure that you join the waiting list now. You can join by clicking the link below.